let's get started before things get too late in the game. We chit-chatting, right? So, Mike, I just said your name, but could you introduce yourself a little bit and what you do? I see you got the jersey on.
So I'm Mike Branson, and I am with Gideon Optics. We started out in 2022. Started out with some pistol dots, not these, because these are all new ones since then, but we had our first initial line of pistol dots came out in 2022, expanded in 2023 and 2024. Now it's 2025, so we've been doing this for a minute now. We have new product launches that I brought to show you today that I want to tell you about, and we have more than just pistol dots now. We've got some LPVOs, and we've got 1X prism scopes. But I've been in the optics business, in the firearms optics business, for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for about a decade, so
You've worked with other
I know the game pretty good at this
reputable
point.
brands that have put dots out. 10 years is a long time to do anything.
Yeah, I love it. I'm addicted to it. I hope I do this for another 10 years after this, you know? Yeah.
Mike. No, I mean, I hope you do too. Now, I guess we should talk about what Gideon Optics is and what it kind of represents in the gun space. Because it's not everything, but it's not nothing. You know what I mean?
Right. So, when we came up with the idea, we wanted to start an optics company. I was talking with ownership. Jordan Vinrose, the owner of the company, and he's like, hey, Mike, I want to bring you on. I want to start an optics brand. Here's why. And we talked about, like, well, who are we going to sell to? Who's the core customer? Are we going to do really high-end boutique stuff? Are we going to do really low-end, cheapy eBay stuff? Or are we going to be somewhere in the middle, right? So Jordan likes to say we're selling Toyota Camrys. Right? So it doesn't have the spinning rims, it doesn't have flashing lights, it's not, it's not a Cadillac, it's not the coolest, newest thing with all the features, but it'll get you 250, 300,000 miles down the road if you change the oil regularly, and that's kind of where we are. Like, these do red dot things just fine, change the batteries out, once a year, make sure that the glass is clean, go shoot. They're going to be fine, right? And so you're not paying extra for a bunch of complicated features that people think they need or they think they want. Like, oh, that sounds good. And then, in my humble opinion, which, I think sometimes you can overthink it, you get overcomplicated, and then you're like, man, I don't really need that. I don't need the super duper multi-reticle select with 7 different reticles and the lockout feature and all that stuff. I don't need all that, and I shouldn't have. I wasted my money when I paid for all that stuff that I don't use. All I need is something that shows me where to aim, right? So it's a high quality product. Got a lifetime warranty on everything. The return rate on broken stuff, the optics that we do get back, by far and away, the most common reason we got optics back is because people simply bought the wrong one. Because there's so many different footprints out there, and they don't know what they've got, and they're like, oh, I thought I had the
most
RMR footprint
part, right?
Dagger, but I got the Delta Point Pro footprint dagger, and so we got a return for that. But very few of these are coming back to us with any kind of issues at all. So it's a high-quality product for like your blue-collar guy who's just, a dude like me. I'm not a Navy SEAL. I was never a SWAT team guy. I got one kid who's about to finish college and one kid that's about to go into college. And I just bought the boy who's about to graduate from high school. I just bought him a car. So I'm paying 2 car notes right now. So I can't throw a $1,000 optic on my $600 Glock. It's not going to happen.
Jeez. I think you're talking to a lot of people right now who completely get it. Like, they're just like, oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. My Glock that I got secondhand from, the police trade-in, that's, $400 or whatever they got it for,
Sure.
And I kind of wanted to soup it up. And the part of the fun with some of these guns is you can make them more your own.
Yeah.
But can you make it cool and make it functional without putting a literal, what does that one optic MSRP for, like $700 to $800 or something like that?
There's some out there that are $1,000 right now.
Yeah,
$1,000 for a pistol dot. You can blow that money if you want to, and I'm not saying that product's not worth it to certain people,
right?
But it's not worth it to me for what I do.
The question is application, right? Because for me, there's a couple different places that I apply, or there's a few different applications that I have. One is I do work in private security, and in those senses, it can get kind of rough. if we're out on ATVs one day going through an extreme park and it's dusty and muddy and it's raining and all the different stuff, I need an enclosed optic for that. And I need one that I can feel okay, like if I fall off or something like that, or if I get into a scuffle, that one little bump isn't going to ruin my optic. And you know what? Like, I didn't break any bones, but my optic's broken.
Right.
You know, like, I don't want that. So you kind of finding what your application is and saying, like, okay, well, this gun lives in the safe, or this gun is my range toy.
Right.
You know?
This is my trainer gun. This is my competition gun.
This is the gun I
this
give
is my
to the
hunting
kids
gun
when we're shooting together.
Yeah.
And how many times can you put a $700 or even a $500 optic on all the different guns that you have? Can we do it at a better price point with the value that you offer? And I know I'm kind of going on and on and on.
No, it's good. You're if you're not going to say it, I'm going to say it, because it's exactly what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I know guys who have like 100 guns, right? But they like optics. They
Must
want
be
optics on
nice.
most of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's not I'd say it's not 100, but
it's 100.
It is 100.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know. I'm still in the rookie numbers.
Safe,
Yeah.
in that one safe, and they got a second safe. Anyways, can you tell us, since we talked about like application,
Right.
when we're talking about the optics that are on the table, and of course describe in detail for the audio only people, what is the application for each dot according to kind of the thought that went behind the design?
Right. And that's, that's where it starts for me is use case, right? So
Use case, yeah.
Yeah, I call it use case, application. So if we have, and we do have some, there's a little bit of overlap, right?
Yeah.
Where we've got multiple optics that are for the same use case, and when that happens, you need to find some way to differentiate them some other way.
Yeah.
So like we have our RMSC footprint, Shield footprint, also the Holosun K footprint. It's all the same thing, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
The K, so on the RMSC, there's 4 little recoil posts in there, and on the Holosun K, it's the exact same thing, same screw location, all that, but the rear post they got rid of. So if you're good for RMSC, you're also good for Holosun K. So we got the original Judge, which we're still selling. We're not discontinuing it. Great little optic. It's about $160 right now. $160. Lifetime
so
warranty.
200 lifetime warranty.
But it's a little bit older tech, and it's got a 2032 battery that's underneath it. So
less convenient.
It goes for maybe a year and a half. Practically, the box is going to say 5 years, but
change it on your birthday.
I change it out on Christmas. Yeah, like pick a day and change them out, because not because of the optics. I would do that with a Trijicon or an Aimpoint too, because the quality of the batteries is so up and down. You don't really know how much juice is in that battery, so I change them out every Christmas anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Are we using Duracells or what are we, Energizers?
Yeah, I like Duracells and Energizers, but I'm a Duracell guy.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
And even then, the quality of the batteries is up and down.
You never know.
But yeah, so I change them out every year, so I don't have to worry about it. So the older optic, you got to pry it off, you got to put another battery underneath it, you got to put it back on, you got to re-zero it. In Judge 2, same use case, concealed carry, we did the side battery tray.
Yes.
We beefed it up.
That's what we need.
Changed the shape. The shape is a little bit more intelligent. It's a lot tougher than the original Judge, but it also costs more. So this is about $220 instead of $160.
I feel like you can kind of eat that cost when you say, like, I don't have to take it off and re-zero. I can just side door it.
Yeah, little 1632 in the side.
A little bit more confidence in its durability and toughness, because that's a lot. I need that confidence that if I'm rolling around with my kids and I'm carrying my gun, it's not going to shatter the window.
Or, you're doing battle with the drunk of the night on Thursday night, and this dude won't leave the club, and he wants to throw hands, and you're trying to de-escalate, and then he throws hands, and you're rolling around. I mean,
now it's a felony.
Yeah. So, it's funny because on YouTube, there's a lot of drop test guys. I'm going to drop it on the box, drop it on the rock in the backyard,
Yeah.
But what we've learned is that for private security, law enforcement and stuff, what happens way more than drops is rolling around.
Oh yeah, it's that roll pressure
on the asphalt in the street.
Yeah.
It's concrete, it's asphalt, and it gets crunched.
A lot of my guys don't have hoods on their Safari Land setups or whatever. Some guys have more regular holsters that have retention and this and that, but the optic is exposed.
Yep.
Or, hey, I finally got into the optics. My Safari Land's not in yet. Well, I'm at work, you know?
Yeah. So
and Tito's about to go down.
Yeah, right.
You know?
So you mentioned enclosed emitter.
Yeah.
So this is Valor Mini.
enclosed.
So this is our enclosed emitter.
Say it again?
It's called Valor Mini. So the
Valor
big
Mini.
Valor, the actual Valor, just Valor, is going to be RMR footprint.
Yeah.
But we're still working on that. We're not quite happy with it yet. It's not a thing yet. The Valor Mini we're happy with. So we came out with the Mini. We don't have the big one yet. And that's okay. It's got a really low deck height, fully enclosed. Again, side battery tray, super tough and easy to keep clean because it's fully enclosed. That's the thing I really like about it. Is you just wipe the back window. If it gets rainy, muddy, or whatever, you can dunk this thing in mud. You just wipe it off, right? So play with it if you want. So that's
There we go.
yeah. So that's Valor Mini. That's our toughest. That's the fully enclosed one. It's also on that RMSC. Yeah, it's on. We're good.
And little just back of a 22 LR to open that up.
Yeah, it comes with a little screwdriver.
Comes with a little screwdriver tool. Green dot or no?
Both. Yeah. So we have that one's in red, but we also have them in green. But that's now we're at a $275 price point.
Okay.
So it's more expensive than the other ones that I've talked about, right?
Enclosed, but under 300.
Right. So we're beating. There's some similar optics to this already on the market, and we're undercutting them on price.
Pretty significantly, I think.
It's significantly enough to make a difference, and that I hope people will give us a chance instead of buying that more famous brand that they've already heard of. Maybe they'll try ours for $275.
Sure.
And then find out that it works out and it's a good unit.
Yeah.
So
I think it's really interesting that you say that, because there's one of the beauty of being like a gun reviewer on the Armed Atlas brand, or like a podcaster with here at Gun Club Radio, is you get to introduce people to things for the very first time.
Yeah.
And sometimes that first thing you're introduced to, with any sort of credibility, people will say like, I'll give it a shot. And the first purchase creates a lifetime customer. Like, they're cool with it now. Maybe they might eventually buy something different just to try, but they're going to have 3 or 4 Glocks versus just
Right.
one. That's what they recommend to their friends, because this is what they have. Now you create a word of mouth thing. And I hope that, as I have plenty of buddies who have run your stuff and who have vouched for it very well. And I've have one of the optics as well, or as LPVO, and I think it's fantastic. That said, I hope that as people kind of make their buying choice, they don't have to be sucked into one thing or another.
Right.
They can make an informed decision based on all the things, not just, well, that's the name.
Yeah. And we try to be very competitive with our pricing, and our pricing is very consistent. We don't run a lot of fire sales. There's not a lot of like coupon codes flying around, and it's going to be the St. Valentine's Day sale. Everything's 30% off. We don't really play that way. It's very consistent, and it's something that I think, and I hope our message is that ordinary guy can afford this.
Yeah.
Lifetime warranty. You're not going to need it, but if something goes wrong, we'll send you another one. It's okay. And you don't have to save up for this. You don't have to not take that class or not shoot that match because you're saving up for a product that works. No, man, buy mine at $250, buy mine at $160, and then buy a case of ammo and go do some matches, bro.
Yeah.
And build a skill set. You don't have to wait months to buy the better product to have something that's going to get the job done.
Excellent.
And that's a valid choice, I hope.
Hey, I think that's a thing that more people should do, instead of not getting the optic, or instead of saying, well, I got to save it for this and that,
Right.
And then you blow all the money on one optic, and it's like, you could have got something a little cheaper that's actually going to work.
That's how I feel about this. I've been talking up this T-Sauce online. This is a T-Sauce Night Stalker 2011. You could get these things for like $700 to $800 for a 2011, right?
2 to 3 times cheaper. Than
Dude, it's
many of the
so
things you can
accurate.
get.
It runs 100%. I've run it suppressed with a can on the end. It runs 100% with a can on it.
Wow.
Shoots very tight
That's
groups.
actually crazy to say, because most guns don't cycle well with cans.
Right. I run like MagTech or Blazer 147s or hand loads that I make myself through this. It runs great. And then we've got the new Judge XL here, which is a
Judge
couple
XL.
$100, and it's RMSC footprint like the
Okay.
others I talked about, but it's not that concealed carry
Yeah.
use case. You can see how big the window is in that. We've necked it up, and we put a big TV screen
Wow.
on the RMSC
That's
footprint.
a big old. If you have a hard time finding your dot,
That's on you.
I can't help you at
Yeah.
this point. Now, I could imagine if you took like a what runs on RMSC, the Sig Fuse.
Right. Uh-huh.
That's a kind of a long, big gun, and if you say, hey, I want to run this in competition or whatever, wouldn't it be nice to have a big old dot on top?
Right.
I mean,
The
even
Canik guys.
you
There's a
could
lot of
carry it.
guys running Canik competition guns, the SFX and stuff.
Yeah, is that
And then
RMSC?
It's
Because it's so
RMSC
narrow up
because
top.
the slide narrows down like this.
You're right.
So they have that slim little footprint, and then they're like, how do I get a big dot on it? Oh,
Yeah.
problem solved. We got your back.
Problem solved. That's amazing. I
Yeah,
love that.
but this gun, this is a $200 and something, like $220, $230
Yeah.
optic on a $700 gun. So I'm at about $1,000 with this setup.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you guys, I've shot this thing back to back with the $4,000 guns, and I can't shoot them any better. Not at the level I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm not Jerry Mikulik here.
That's incredible. Well,
You
I mean,
know.
that's pretty cool, and I hope people check that out. But what else do you have here?
So
'Cause
again,
I'm looking at this one, but I'm sure we're gonna get there.
Well, while we're doing 2011s, the other cool 2011, this is the Platypus. Everybody likes the Platy. So this is a 2011 by Stealth Arms, who are awesome people and
Yeah.
who are absolutely worthy of supporting with your hard-earned cash. Great dudes. And this has RMR footprint on it.
Yeah.
So not RMSC anymore.
Full
and this
RMR.
has our biggest window. So this is called the Granite Comp.
Granite
We also
Comp.
have a Granite Carry that's a little bit smaller. And that is a massive, giant, ridiculous, like 507C type window.
Big window, battery on the side.
Battery on the side, because the other version of that is straight to Glock MOS.
Okay.
Without any kind of adapter plate. So nobody likes the Glock factory adapter plates. They're
it's
kind
not
of
bad.
soft and they bend really
Yeah.
easy, and there's not a lot of thread engagement. And Chuck Haggard is a police officer friend of mine who's also a very good instructor. And last year, this is a nice thing about being at a small company. Last year, we're at another event. He comes up to me, he's like, Mike, I'm sick and tired of these adapter plates. Why don't anybody make a direct mount optic for MOS? And I was like, no, that's a good idea.
That's big.
So I talked to my people. I'm like, hey, how come nobody's making this? And they're like, well, because of where the screws are. There's no place to put the battery. Nobody's done it before. And I'm like, so figure it out. So why don't we just hang the battery on the side? If the screws on the MOS are in a bad place,
Yeah.
we'll make that. So it started out
It's
that
not
way.
the first optic to ever do it, but
Yeah.
we should be doing it more.
Yeah. So get rid of the plates. Go direct mount if you can. You
Yeah.
know. But so then I like that so much. I'm like, man, it can't just be for Glocks. We got to do it for others. So
Dude.
then we got it for RMR too. But that's our
Nice.
giant competition window.
And
8
galactic
MOA
credits.
dot in it. Yeah.
What are we talking for in like galactic credits? How much?
on the cost on it,
Yeah.
it's like I've got it in my phone. I should have this memorized by now, right?
I mean, it's your favorite one. Come
right?
on, man.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm so used to.
I mean, if this thing,
Oh,
while,
here we
while we're
go.
looking that
This-
up,
it's
I
a
mean,
live show.
We're looking at it, and really, the battery on the side, it doesn't.
Boom.
I don't think it would make it so much harder to conceal.
$249.
And you can get it for $250 plus 250 galactic credits. It's crazy. No, that's amazing. I love that, and I think definitely people should go look up some reviews and see all the cool ways that people are using these things, because it's that's cool. I want one of those.
Yeah, we're talking about use case. Like, you're not going to hide this giant window with a big battery on the side, but this is a 5-inch 2011 with a threaded barrel and a mag well.
Yeah.
So who cares,
Yeah.
right? So that we got little ones if you're trying to hide it and conceal it. We got big ones if you don't need to hide it. You know, for open carry, this would be a great hunting optic.
Yeah,
You know, put it on like a 10 millimeter or something. Go bear hunting.
yeah.
You know.
So this has all been really cool, and I'm super glad we got a chance to kind of sit down and actually get this done, because this is a great lineup. Mike, thank you so much. Can you let people know where they can find your stuff?
Gideon Optics, man. GideonOptics.com. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on X. We're on YouTube. Just search up Gideon Optics, and there we are.
There you go.
Yeah, you'll see me.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate your time, man.
All right, peace.